Hello YouTube, and welcome back to CB4 Gaming. Okay, hello YouTube, long time no see. We have got the new horror Oni fighter today. Looks pretty decent. He's a tank, which is interesting. I do like my tanks. My two favourite types are tanks and support. I normally play those when I'm like playing RPGs as well, tanks and support. I've always liked those two, or paladins, which is the banquet rose. But yeah, let's get on to Horror Oni. Now he's a tank, and a pretty unique tank. He's a trigger tank. That's pretty good in my opinion. I'm not sure where you'd put him, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna be very useful, especially in bossing because of his ultra shock. His ultra shock seems to work a bit like burn or bleed or something, if I can find it here quickly. So ultra shock targets thunder damage equal to 10% of attack for each attack received, stacks up to 10 times and lasts until the end of the battle. That's pretty strong, because they could end up taking 100%. If it stacks 10 times and it's equal to 10% of attack, that means it will do 100% of attack every time he's attacked. And that could be quite devastating, considering looking at how he played in the trial. He seems pretty tough. He does take a lot of damage. It doesn't look like he necessarily needs to use his super. He can just spring out and do his C1 and his C3 from tag if you wanted. But I think you'd want to be mainlining this guy up front so you can inflict shock. His normal attacks from his passive inflict shock, and every time he inflicts 5 shocks from himself, he will stun the target for 1 second. That's pretty useful. His combo 3, in fact, chains off of combo 2. So say if you had you could use him with 2 trigger units essentially, so long as the other trigger unit isn't a combo 3 that chains off of combo 3. You might be able to, I'm not entirely sure, you might be able to chain a trigger off of his trigger 3, but it says trigger skill unleashes automatically after a teammate performs combo 2, does not affect combo 3. Now it doesn't say it doesn't chain into combo 3 like what I think it was that the character that said that was, what's his face now? Gormagala Ken. His combo 3 didn't have a chain effect. So he might in fact chain his combo 3 into a trigger combo 3 as well. Who knows? It'll have to be tested to find out. He can taunt. His combo 1 taunts all enemies, and has a 30% chance of inflicting shock. That's pretty decent. See, because he's inflicting shock quite a lot, which means he is going to stun someone. You've got a chance to inflict stun here, and with combo 1, and that's gonna give you shock and taunt for 6 seconds, which is obviously gonna be very useful as a tank. And then you can do it here again, where he hits 5 times, 30% chance of inflicting shock again with his C3, and his super combo guaranteed to put 1 ultra shock on the fighters. And this thunder vulnerability, what is this? So thunder vulnerability, increase thunder damage taken by 10%. So how is this working? You gain super armor from his super combo. Then the first strike inflicts thunder vulnerability. So he'll put thunder vulnerability on them, so they take 10% more damage. You're then going to get Ultra Shock put on you, meaning you're going to take damage every time you hit. It doesn't say if Thunder Vulnerability can stack. It doesn't say it doesn't stack, so I'm going to assume that it doesn't stack. And you can just put it on there once. Because that would be crazy if it just stacked infinitum. That would be pretty OP. But you don't necessarily need, I guess, his super combo, but it's probably best to use it just because it works with his kit so nicely. But you could use him as just maybe a standalone tank, not doing his super combo, because you do, every 5 hits, you will put Ultra Shock on someone, and that's going to be pretty painful for people. His super combo one is pretty useful as well. So when you look at his fighting spirit, he's going to put 1 Ultra Shock on a random fighter straight away. So that's negating that super combo. See, when you're fighting bosses, that's going to be really useful, because then you'll use his super combo, he'll trigger his whatever and whatever, you know what I mean? And then that's going to just keep stacking up. And now, at level 10 fighting spirit, he inflicts another Ultra Shock, which is great. He can then also, at level 20, recover 200 super combo gauge when unleashing his Thunder Beam, which is his super combo. So he's going to get gauge boost. That's useful. And then he gets his, kind of soft power, 80% increased defense for 20 seconds when he enters the field, and increased damage for 10% damage reduction. That's going to be useful. That's going to be pretty painful for people. You put a Balrog on top of that with the extra defense and the Balrog EX, he's going to be invincible. He's going to be invincible there. With his with his cars, 3 cars, when he enters the field, he gives everyone a shield equal to 20% of max HP, and shares 15% of the damage they receive. So that's good. He's giving everyone 15% damage reduction and a 20% shield. That's pretty hefty. And at 6 cars, every 5 seconds, he'll deal normal attacks, damaging the fighter with the highest HP percentage. So that could be the fighter at the back. You might just punch the back line if they've got the highest HP percentage, and trigger the special effect, recovering 50 super combo gauge and inflicting shock. So yeah, when he does this every 5 seconds, he's also gonna proc his passive skill. Now here's the thing though with Horror Oni, which I'm a bit dubious about, but there's a pro and a con to this. The pro, I think he is a unit that isn't limited. So I think he's staying. I think he stays here forever. He doesn't go nowhere. And that is pretty useful, because that means there's no immediate call to action to pull this, if I'm correct. If I'm not correct, that makes it a bit harder, because you have to pull for him to get him. And he is, I think he's probably, I don't know, because the other problem with him is that he doesn't have ignore damage immunity. And ignoring damage immunity is kind of up there as a thing for a unit to have. But also, him being a trigger tank, is also kind of up there of something a unit should have. But the other problem is that does he counter V Vega? And that's the hard question, because V Vega will ignore shields. He does shields, but V Vega ignores it, so it doesn't matter. But he can stun. Will he stun V Vega? Maybe if V Vega does super combo 3, hitting Oni, he might be able to stun him. There's a chance, but he probably won't. So that makes it kind of harsh. This is the hard choice. Should you get Oni, the new Oni, horror Oni? I think yes, and fingers crossed. I think he is a mainstay character. He isn't a unique. He is like a clone of Oni. So there's no reason why he shouldn't be mainstay. They didn't make him master. They made him thunder. So that's also kind of interesting in the fact that he isn't... If they made him limited, that'd be pretty weird. I think he's mainstay. There's nothing that says that he isn't... He has a limited trial, but he doesn't say pull him for a limited time. So maybe he is actually staying here forever, which is great. It means maybe you might be able to stack more SST. But then we don't know how long we've got left of the game as well. So we've got some hard choices here of what to do. And for me, I think I'm going to get him. I think I am going to get him. I do also want to get the Lady Bison, which is, kind of messing me up. He's not replacing E Honda. He's not blocking Viscous Vega's bullet. He can't replace Bullet Wall. He's not doing that for people. So in that sense, he can't replace E Honda. How would you play with this character? You could use this character using his super combo and then have Banquet, Rose, maybe Donatello, and then someone else doing a C2 in tag. That could work out kind of nicely. But it's a tough choice. It's a really tough choice, guys. I wanna give you more information on how to go about this, but this is going to be totally up to you. Do you need a trigger tank? I would probably say you do, because when you look at the way we use Goken on the Viscous Vega team, we use him passively. He just becomes trigger, even though he's not a trigger unit. So a trigger unit could be really useful. He will be really useful. He will be useful. He'll probably be really good at bossing as well, just because of the way his ultra shock stacks up. And because his ultra shock stacks and doesn't disappear, it lasts till the end of the battle. That's going to be really handy for fighting bosses. You won't be able to stun no one, because bosses don't get stunned, but you will be able to get that extra tick damage. The target takes thunder damage equal to 10% of attack for each attack received, stacks up to 10 times and lasts until the end of the battle. So it's only when you get hit do they take. It's like damage reflection. Ooh, you see, and that's the other thing as well. He might be able to reflect that damage. If Viscous Vega hits him, he might just reflect it back on him straight away and kill him. That's the other power move there. When you're fighting against the Overlord Bison team, that's going to be naughty, because you won't be able to do that. There's no damage immunity. Like, it doesn't ignore damage immunity. So that's the tough choice there. He's not going to be able to break the current meta of Double Bison. It's iffy if he can counter Viscous Vega. But is he worth it? I would say so. Tanks, I think tanks and support, in my humble and personal opinion, tanks and support are probably the best kind of unit you can get. Anything that heals and hits are probably the better ones. Anything that does damage immunity, ignores damage immunity, they are also must-haves. So it goes like this: tank supports, ignore damage immunity, speed. These are the things that you want to get. So as a unit, I'll probably be getting him. Whether you should is totally up to you.
Even though you two amuse me, I must conclude this game. I have engagements to keep and I can't be late.
Thank you for watching my video. Please leave a comment in the comment section. Like and subscribe. Bye.
Get ready! I'll fight you on your own level! Come on!
お前はもう死んでいる。